DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use promo code PFTLive when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. All right, some of the props that are available via DraftKings for tonight's game, some of the little things that make it spicy, make it interesting. How about the simplest, the most common, the most usual prop? Final score. 49ers, 10.5-point favorites with an over-under of 44. Now, we're going to do our official picks coming up later this morning in the weekly Joint Mega Picks pod, but I think we're both going to pick the 49ers to win. Is 10.5 a little too much? Is it too much? You never know when they're going to kick a field goal with 4 seconds left.
I think if it was a normal week and it was a full week, I'd probably go, that is too much. I mean, I'd be like, no, excuse me, I'm saying that the wrong. If it was a normal full week, I'd go, I'll take the 49ers in the over. I feel like with the short week and some of the things we discussed earlier, and it being Thursday night football and teams can be a little sluggish and, a few mistakes, that, 10.5 feels a little too much for me right now. I haven't totally written down my final score quite yet, but when I see that right there, I'm thinking that that's a little too high of a number for Thursday night football.
Again, we'll make our final picks coming up later today. The full Joint Mega Picks podcast will be available in the Chris Simms Unbuttoned podcast feed, in the PFTPM podcast feed, and also at YouTube. And we'll use clips from some of the various games at PFT throughout the weekend. Passing props, Daniel Jones over under 215.5 passing yards. What do you got, over or under?
I'm going to go over, because I don't think they're going to be able to run the football, and they're going to have to rely on the passing game, and I envision them being down. So that's going to force them to have to pass the ball too. And I certainly could see this being a game where, late game BS stats get accumulated that look a little bit better than the actual competitive part of the game looked, right? So I'll go the over with the 215.
Hey, that's a great point. I mean, look at what happened on Sunday. They go behind 28-7, and they light it up.
Right.
And you're not going to have Saquon Barkley. They may just come out there and say it worked on Sunday when we were in a deep hole. Let's just let Daniel Jones go out and earn his $40 million per year. So I'm over as well with you. Brock Purdy over under 228.5 passing yards. There's been a little concern on the deep ball accuracy.
Yeah.
Is he going to get more than 228 or less?
Well, this is where it's it's hard with the 49ers just because, they're so damn good in so many ways here, right? I'm going to go over here, though. I am. One, I think that the Giants are in a tough spot here of, we have to stop the run game, and now we're a little compromised with, like I said earlier in the show, some young corners and some people in the secondary that are going to have to match up against, a pretty good receiving core by the 49ers, let alone when you have to overcommit to one thing. That's usually when Shanahan has something for you. Oh, you're going to overplay the run? Okay, well, I got this play action pass and this and that to take advantage of, all the things you're doing. He's the king of checks and balances for his offense there. So I think I'm going to go over with that one as well, Mike.
Yeah, I think I will agree with you on that. And Brock Purdy still creating a lot of excitement as he becomes maybe a franchise quarterback. We'll see. Not bad for the last guy taken in the 2022 draft. All right, rushing props. Daniel Jones. Wasn't it a Thursday night game when he tripped over the 5-yard line?
I believe it was.
Thursday night game?
Right.
Either way, he once tripped over the 5-yard line. The over-under for his rushing yards is 37.5. And again, with no Saquon Barkley, does he take off from time to time enough to beat that number? Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to say yes to that, too. I can't believe I'm saying yes to all these as we're sitting here. But, yeah, his legs are going to be imperative tonight. And Daniel Jones is a damn good runner, as we know. He's the type of guy that he could rip a 30-yard run off, no problem. We see it a lot. So, I think they're going to have some quarterback design runs. I think he'll scramble a few times. That'll get him a few yards there. And if the 49ers get over aggressive and stopping the run game, they always have the little read option and stuff to go along with it. I feel like the over's coming in that one as well, Mike.
Yeah, no Saquon Barkley again. More passing, more running from the guy. that you're paying $40 million a year to. Make him earn it tonight. It's a good opportunity to do so with Barkley out. Christian McCaffrey, 49ers running back, over under 78.5 rushing yards. We talked about him earlier. He plays a lot. He gets a lot of touches. He's averaging 24 per game. Does he get more than 78.5 rushing yards?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to go under. This is the first one I'm going to go under. I think the Giants, knowing Wink Martindale, his lineage, where he's come from, it's going to be all, let's stop the run. Let's go all out to stop the run and see if Brock Purdy in the pass game can beat us. That's usually been the MO of a Wink Martindale. I'm going to ride that. I could see this being more of a McCaffrey receiving game where they find ways to get him out in the passing game, a few screens here and there. That really kind of is his big stat line tonight. But I think that the Giants will do everything they can to put all the eggs in one basket. Yep, all the eggs in one basket to stop the run game.
Yeah, and look, he's had heavy workload each of the first two games, short week.
Yeah.
You don't really need him tonight to get 25 touches. You shouldn't need him to do that, to beat the Giants. You give him a little time off and just manage him by not overdoing it, which leads to fewer than 78.5 rushing yards. All right, let's look at the sack props, both for the 49ers and the Giants. This is for the over 0.75 sacks. And the clear favorite, Nick Bosa, followed by Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead. Then you've got the Giants, who haven't had a sack all year long. Which of those is the most enticing to you, factoring in the odds?
Well, I think if the Javon Hargrave one is the one that I'd probably look at. I mean, again, Nick Bosa, I would for sure say he's going to get a sack tonight, like 100%. But without Bredesen and the things you talked about early in the show when we talked about the matchup, that group, Hargrave, Armstead, like Wilk said, F the play up, what they do there. And the fact that I think that, Daniel Jones is going to probably have to drop back more than the Giants would like tonight. The Javon Hargrave one's the one I'll look at. Him or Eric Armstead, I certainly could see them getting 1 to 2 sacks tonight.
Yeah, look, this is such a crapshoot because the actual sack itself is a lucky opening that so many other things go into. Guys get close. And is the ball out? Did you get shoved out of the side? You get the goal is to just be in the vicinity. And if you're consistently in the vicinity, the numbers in theory will come. But Nick Bosa doesn't have any so far this year. So just the odds tell me tonight's the night Bosa gets at least one.
I hear you.
He'll get that Tony Manero, John Travolta, Pompadour. He'll on the underneath that big giant hammerhead shark helmet, he'll get that onto Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I hear you there too.
All right,
and Mike. Last week, I don't know. Did they not have a sack last week? That was Matthew Stafford and McVay and that offense. They know how to get the ball out of their hands quickly, right? I don't think they're going to have the same luxury here, the Giants tonight. We saw in week 1, right, we got Drake Jackson, who had 3 sacks. Hargrave had a sack in that game. Who else am I missing? Kerry Hyder had a sack in that football game. I feel like it'll be more along those lines than what we saw last week with Stafford and McVay in that attack.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.